The Honor 9N improves upon last year's Honor 9 Lite in small yet significant ways. The display now sports a notch, and the selfie camera has been bumped up to 16 megapixels. It features a glass back, dual rear cameras, a 19:9 display, and runs on Android 8 Oreo out of the box. At its price starting at 11,999 rupees, can it really compete head-on with the likes of the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M1, Oppo Realme One, and Moto G6? Let's find out. The most striking aspect of the Honor 9N is its design. The back panel is made of glass and has a glossy finish that looks striking. The horizontal dual rear camera setup barely protrudes from the chassis, and the back panel looks very clean thanks to the lack of antenna lines and regulatory information. The 5.84-inch display has a notch at the top, which is quite small. If you don't like notches on the display, Honor has added an option in the settings menu to mask the same. The Honor 9N is compact and petite and very easy to use with one hand. That said, it is incredibly slippery and the glossy glass back is a fingerprint magnet. Build quality though is top-notch. The rear-mounted fingerprint sensor is quick and accurate and can be used for a variety of functions such as taking a picture, answering calls, and sliding down the notification panel. These gestures can be used with any finger and are not locked to the finger you've registered for authentication. The Honor 9N is powered by Honor's tried and trusted Kirin 659 processor, which is also found in the likes of the Honor 7X, Honor 9 Lite, and the Honor 9i. The smartphone straddles multiple price categories with 3 variants on offer. The base variant retails at 11,999 rupees and has 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of storage. And the one we tested here is priced at 13,999 rupees and has 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage. There is another variant of the smartphone on offer which is priced at 17,999 rupees and features 4 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. The Honor 9N has a removable 3000 mAh battery and runs EMUI 8.0 on top of Android 8 Oreo. It uses a micro USB port at USB 2.0 speeds for charging and data transfer and has a 3.5mm headphone socket. NFC is not supported though. It comes with a hybrid dual SIM slot, which means you can either have a second SIM or a memory card at any given point of time. There's a 5.84-inch Full HD Plus IPS display with a 19:9 aspect ratio. The screen dominates much of the front fascia but is not exactly borderless. The chin especially is pretty significant. The Kirin 659 processor is getting a bit old in the tooth and cannot compare to Qualcomm's newer mid-range offerings in terms of both power and efficiency. The Honor 9N handles basic day-to-day tasks like browsing the web and using social media applications with ease, but struggles when pushed. With budget smartphones becoming more and more powerful, such slowdowns are quite disappointing. In our experience, simple games like Subway Surfers ran fine, but we experienced choppy frame rates with titles like Asphalt 8 every now and then. The smartphone did get warm when pushed, but not uncomfortably so. Calls were clear and crisp, and 4G connectivity was solid. The Honor 9N also supports face recognition, which works quite well for the most part and is near instantaneous in good light. That said, it struggles somewhat in direct sunlight and when lighting is not the best. The Honor 9N runs on Android 8 Oreo out of the box with Huawei's EMUI 8 custom skin on top. In its past few iterations, EMUI has become much more responsive, though it's still not as snappy as stock Android. EMUI is loaded with a host of nifty features such as Wi-Fi Plus, which automatically switches between Wi-Fi and mobile data depending on which connection is stronger. The built-in messaging app has a useful feature that did a good job of recognizing and filtering out spam messages. You also get several gestures such as a 3-finger swipe to take a screenshot. On the other hand, the amount of pre-installed bloat on the Honor 9 is quite disappointing. Battery life is mediocre. In a HD video loop battery test, the Honor 9N lasted just 8 hours and 40 minutes, which is well below the average for this market segment. With moderate use, we found ourselves reaching for the charger by 9 to 10 PM every day. On the imaging front, the Honor 9N features a dual rear camera setup with a 13-megapixel primary sensor and a 2-megapixel secondary sensor, along with an LED flash. On the front, there's a 16-megapixel sensor. The camera app is quite logically laid out and comes with a fully featured Pro mode, which allows you to alter the shutter speed, ISO, aperture, and white balance. AR stickers are a fun and nifty way to kill time and can be used with both the front and rear cameras. In favorable light, the rear camera takes above average photos. The level of detail is good and colors are quite accurate. Wide aperture mode lets you adjust the aperture value before and even after shooting the image. However, images taken in wide aperture mode often end up looking like a Photoshop job gone wrong. The resultant shots were subpar with average edge detection. In low light, the camera performs rather poorly. Photos lack detail and seem over-sharpened. A fair bit of noise creeps in as well, and focusing is also slow in unfavorable light. The front camera follows much of the same script. It struggles in low light but captures decent photos in favorable light. The front camera also has a beauty mode that works reasonably well and can also shoot bokeh shots via software algorithms. The bokeh effect, however, is quite average, and the blur effect does not even work half the time. Both the front and rear camera setups support Full HD video recording. Videos are lackluster at best and lack detail, especially at night. The lack of electronic image stabilization means the footage can be shaky at times. The Honor 9N is a compact smartphone that sports a vibrant display, a fresh and modern design, and Android 8 Oreo out of the box. The color options are also quite funky, especially Robin Egg Blue, which is set to go on sale soon. That said, battery life is mediocre, performance is below average, EMUI seems cluttered, and the cameras falter in low light. If you want a sleek phone with a great display, the base variant of the Honor 9N makes for a good buy. The other variants are a bit too expensive though, and are much harder to recommend. So thanks for watching our review of the Honor 9N, and for all things tech, log on to gadgets360.com.